Good morning, boys. We are now going to the next topic, limiting reagent and problems based on limiting reagent. It is the part of mole concept, and this is our third video. Now, in order to understand the limiting reagent, let us see a very small and simple reaction. Carbon monoxide plus oxygen to carbon dioxide. Let's balance the reaction 2CO plus O2, 2CO2. Now, from this simple reaction, what are the masses of carbon monoxide, oxygen and carbon dioxide involved in the reaction? Let us see. Carbon monoxide 12 plus 16, 28 into 2, 56, oxygen 32, and the mass of carbon dioxide formed equals to 88. So this is the mass involvement in the chemical reaction. 56 parts carbon monoxide combines with 32 parts of oxygen, giving 88 parts of carbon dioxide. Every reaction has its own mass ratio. Let us simplify it, and dividing by 8 you will get 7, 4, 11. Here we have divided these terms by 8 in order to simplify the ratio. So every reaction has its own ratio of masses. What is the ratio of masses? 7:4:11. That means 7 parts carbon monoxide combines with 4 parts oxygen, giving 11 parts carbon dioxide. You can express these terms in a particular unit. Say 7 gram carbon monoxide reacts with 4 gram oxygen, giving 11 gram carbon dioxide. You can express the mass ratio in any unit of mass. Now the question is that this is fixed for a particular reaction. 7:4:11, this is fixed for this particular reaction. If you go from one reaction to another reaction, this ratio of masses will differ. So there is no problem in it. Now the C, if you allow 7 gram carbon monoxide to react with 4 gram oxygen exactly, you will get 11 gram carbon dioxide exactly. Now if you take in any arbitrary ratio, any arbitrary ratio, if you involve the mass of carbon monoxide, mass of oxygen, if you involve in any arbitrary ratio, that is, say we are taking 10 gram carbon monoxide, 5 gram oxygen. This is we have taken from our mind. Means 10 gram carbon monoxide is involved with 5 gram oxygen for this reaction. Naturally, you see that one of the reactant, out of these two reactant, one of the reactant will be fully consumed and another reactant will be excess in some amount. Let us calculate it. This is the ratio taken. This is the ratio of masses taken. Now see, we know that 7 gram carbon monoxide combines with 4 gram oxygen. So let us write it. 7 gram carbon monoxide combines with 4 gram oxygen. Now, what amount of 10 gram is given? So 10 gram carbon monoxide will combine with 4 by 7 into 10. 4 by 7 into 10, that is 40 by 7. So 40 by 7 equals to, divide it, 5.71 gram. Now look at this particular amount, that for 10 gram carbon monoxide, 5.71 gram oxygen would be required according to this mass ratio. But we have taken 5 gram oxygen, remember, 5 gram oxygen. We are not having 5 gram oxygen, we need 5.71 gram. That means this 10 gram carbon monoxide will not react fully. In order to react it fully, it will need 5.71 gram oxygen, but we have taken 5 gram oxygen. Therefore, this will not react fully. Not react fully. So, this 10 gram carbon monoxide will not react fully. So, what will react fully? Obviously, oxygen will react fully. You can see it by calculations, or you can directly say that oxygen, the amount of oxygen will react fully, will consume fully. If you do the calculation, you can do it that for 4 gram oxygen, how much carbon monoxide is required? 7 gram carbon monoxide is required according to the ratio. Now we have taken 5 gram in the question. So for 5 gram oxygen, carbon monoxide required equals to 7 by 4 into 5. 7 by 4 into 5, that is 35 by 4. 35 by 4 equals to 8.75 gram. 35 by 4 equals to 8.75 gram. Okay, 8.75 gram. See, for 5 gram oxygen to react, how much carbon monoxide is required? 8.75 gram. How much we have? 10 gram. That means it is sufficient. It is enough, sufficient. We have 10 gram and only 8.75 gram carbon monoxide would be reacted, would be necessary. Therefore, you can say that this 5 gram oxygen will react, will consume fully in the reaction. The whole weight of oxygen will be reacted. So this reactant whose mass is fully consumed during a chemical reaction is called limiting reactant or limiting reagent. Therefore, I repeat, the reactant whose mass is fully consumed during a chemical reaction is called limiting reactant or limiting reagent. Therefore, if for this question what we are discussing, the limiting reactant is oxygen, you will write. This is the limiting reactant because oxygen, the amount of oxygen is fully consumed during the course of the reaction, and the amount of the amount of carbon monoxide, 10 gram carbon monoxide has been taken, but only 8.75 gram carbon monoxide is reacting. Therefore, some amount of carbon monoxide will be left excess, will be left behind. Therefore, the amount of carbon monoxide left behind, is equal to 10 minus 8.75, that is equal to 1.25 gram. So see, this amount of carbon monoxide will remain excess. This amount of carbon monoxide will remain excess. This means this amount of carbon monoxide will not take part in the reaction. That's why carbon monoxide, the another reactant, is named as excess reactant. Therefore, now it is clear that excess reactant is carbon monoxide. So, from this example, you have understood what I mean limiting reactant and what I mean excess reactant. This will only appear, this will only come when we take the amount of reactants from our mind, arbitrary amounts. What do we say? Arbitrary amounts. So whenever for a chemical reaction, the reactants are taken, the masses of the reactants are taken arbitrarily, then one of the reactant will act as limiting reactant and the another reactant will act as excess reactant. These type of problems you have to calculate, you have to handle with. So let us see a problem, a numerical problem based on limiting reactant. Let us see it. So see it here, for the given reaction 15 gram nitrogen is allowed to react with 10 gram hydrogen. Now you have to find the limiting reactant, which reactant and by how much of it left unreacted, and find the mass of ammonia formed. Now see, in order to solve this problem, you see the exact mass ratio. The exact mass ratio, nitrogen is 28, hydrogen is 6, 28, 6, 34. So you can simplify it, dividing by 2, it will be 14, 3, 17. Dividing by 2, we get this ratio. This means in the reaction 14 gram nitrogen will be consumed when 3 gram hydrogen will be consumed, and at the same time 7 gram ammonia would be formed. This is the exact reaction mass ratio. Now we have taken here 15 gram nitrogen. So see, 14 gram, for 14 gram 3 gram is needed. For 15 gram how much is needed? Slightly more than 3 gram, that you can mentally calculate, but you have 10 gram hydrogen, means enough hydrogen. So simply by mental calculation you can see for 14 gram nitrogen only 3 gram hydrogen would be required. And what is our amount given? 15 gram. So for 15 gram it is slightly more than 3 gram. So mentally you can understand it, and the amount of hydrogen is given 10 gram, that is sufficient. That means nitrogen will be the reactant, limiting reactant. You have to show it by calculations in this way. For 14 gram nitrogen, 3 gram hydrogen required. Therefore for 15 gram nitrogen, 3 by 14 into 15. This is equal to 45 by 14. So 3.2 approximately, write down 3.2 gram. 3.2 gram hydrogen will be required here, but you have 10 gram hydrogen. Clear? 10 gram hydrogen, enough hydrogen. That means the whole mass of nitrogen is reacted. Therefore nitrogen is the limiting reagent. So it is the answer of number 1. Nitrogen is limiting reagent. Number 2, which reactant and by how much of it? Number 2 is also done. Which reactant and by how much of it left unreacted? The reactant is hydrogen, and mass of hydrogen left, this is equal to 10 grams taken for the reaction, but only 3.2 gram reacted. Therefore 6.8 gram nitrogen will be left behind. So this is the excess amount of nitrogen, excess amount of hydrogen. After the reaction is over, 6.8 gram hydrogen will remain there unreacted. And the mass of, thirdly, the mass of ammonia formed. The mass of ammonia, whenever you are to find the mass of the product, always use limiting reactant to find out the mass, because limiting reactant is that reactant whose mass is fully consumed. Means which one is limiting reactant? Nitrogen. What is the amount of nitrogen involved in the reaction? 15 gram. So with reference to 15 gram nitrogen, you find out the amount of ammonia formed. Don't find the amount of ammonia with reference to 10 gram of hydrogen, remember, because 10 gram hydrogen fully has not reacted. So that answer will be wrong. So that's why whenever you find the amount of product, always find with reference to the limiting reactant. Therefore, take this relation, nitrogen to ammonia, 14 gram nitrogen gives 17 gram ammonia, 14 gram nitrogen gives 17 gram ammonia. Therefore 15 gram nitrogen gives 17 by 14 into 15. 17 by 14 into 15. You have to find this one. This is the mass of ammonia. This is the mass of ammonia formed. 17 into 15 by 14. I am not going for calculations because this will waste your time. You can calculate it, you can understand it. So 14 gram nitrogen gives 17 gram ammonia from the reaction ratio. It is clear. Then how much ammonia would be formed from for 15 gram nitrogen, because you have to find the mass of ammonia with reference to limiting reactant. And if you find the mass of ammonia with reference to hydrogen, 10 gram hydrogen, that would be incorrect. That would be incorrect because 10 gram hydrogen has not reacted fully in the reaction. Clear? So this will be the amount. So the amount of ammonia formed. So what is the fate of the reaction after the reaction is over? The fate of the reaction after the reaction is over. That means when this reaction is conducted, after the reaction is over, you will have this amount of ammonia. You will get it by calculation. 17 point something will be coming here. 17 point something gram of ammonia and this amount of hydrogen. This amount of hydrogen which is left behind, 6.8 gram hydrogen. This is the final composition of the product formed after the reaction. So if it comes that what is the final composition of the reaction after it is over, then you have to write this one, that this much of ammonia and this much of hydrogen would be present together after the reaction is over. So this is our problems based on limiting reactant. You have a number of problems in your book, textbook, reference book. You will try to solve some of the problems based on limiting reactant. Now we are going to the last section of mole concept, that is solution and concentration of solution. As you know that solution is a homogeneous mixture of a solute in a solvent. So solute and solvent, this mixture is known as solution. It is a homogeneous mixture. So what is, see, we find that certain amount of solute in some amount of solvent can be taken to prepare a solution. Therefore, we must need to say that what is the concentration of the solute in the solution. So see it here. The next part is concentration of solution and their units. Concentration of solution and its units. This is our next part. You know that a solution is a homogeneous mixture of solute and solvent. So you can prepare any solution by adding a solute in a solvent. The solute must be dissolved in that solvent. See it here, solute must be dissolved in the solvent. It should not be that the solute is insoluble. In such a case, you will not get a solution. Now let us see some of the units of concentration of solution. The first one is mass percent. Mass percent means the number of parts of solute, in 100 parts of the solution. That means it is the mass of the solute per 100 parts of the solution. This is known as mass percent. To understand mass percent, let us consider the amount of solute is W1 gram, amount of solvent is W2 gram. That means W1 gram solute is dissolved in W2 gram solvent to prepare the solution. Therefore, the mass of solution equals to W1 plus W2 gram. So by definition, mass percent mass percentage of the solute, mass percentage of the solute equals to mass of solute by mass of the solution, mass of solution into 100. Therefore, mass of solute is W1 gram, mass of the solution is W1 plus W2 into 100. This is equals to mass percent. Sometimes it is written W/W percent. In this way it is written. W/W means weight of the solute, weight of the solute and weight of the solution, percent. So this is denoted by W/W percent, mass of the solute by mass of the solution into 100. This is our first unit of concentration. And the next units of concentration, molarity, molality, mole fraction, normality, these are the other units of concentration of solute. Concentration of solute in a solution will be discussed in our next video.